the every Monday protest by the CORD leaders there. We are seeing crowds at the city center marching towards the anniversary towers, of course led by a number of their leaders. Our reporter Krista will be joining us later to just give us updates on what really is happening. Seems like it's not business as usual on that in that area. And Krista mentioned earlier that the police have applied a different way of doing things today. A number of police have been stationed in various places where, when it gets all crazy and many start running away from the tear gas canisters or just to escape the scene, the police have been put there to ensure that there is law and order. We understand the CORD leaders are now arriving at the anniversary towers, where a number of their supporters have been since morning chanting, blowing whistles, chanting IEBC must go, among other things, carrying placards. And we can see a number of leaders led by CORD leader Raila Odinga, Moses Wetangula, his co-principal, and Kalonzo Musyoka as well, James Orengo, Boni Halwale there, Moses Waluke. We can see Machakos Senator Mudhama there, holding on to each other. Definitely a show of solidarity in a cause that they are all for, and this is a cause to oust the IEBC commissioners ahead of the general election. Live pictures there from the anniversary towers we're seeing. And we are also seeing Kanu's Nixalat. We can't really see that, but he is in the crowd. I don't know which message we are sending here, being that we have someone from another party, but definitely KTN will be interrogating on whether Kanu supports this cause by opposition CORD coalition. We've been showing you live pictures from the anniversary towers. And just to mention earlier on, Nairobi County Commandant Japhet Koome had warned the protesters against engaging in violent activities and the destruction of property, even as they go on with their right to picket. And the IEBC commissioners have maintained their stance that they will not go out of office. A number of people have weighed in on the issue. We saw the Kenya Private Sector Alliance last week call for dialogue between the government and the opposition. CORD leader Raila Odinga had hinted that he had written a letter to President Uhuru Kenyatta asking for a round-table dialogue or discussion on which way forward for the IEBC. This is an issue that has taken center stage even on the social media, with a number of reactions. Some are for IEBC, some are for or some are against the IEBC. Quite a contentious issue as the country heads into an electioneering period. Currently, the voters' registration exercise is ongoing. All right, pictures there. We're seeing stones, just the same thing the county commandant had warned against, but we do not know if that will be put to use. Those there are live pictures from the anniversary towers. I could say hundreds of supporters there carrying placards. We can see one of the leaders there, TJ Kajwang, Member of Parliament for Ruaraka, blowing a whistle, wearing their official Firimbi movement caps in solidarity with the anti-IEBC protest. It's a beret, their official Firimbi movement beret. Thank you very much for that correction, Audi. But those there are live pictures from the anniversary towers. As you can see, supporters there, really, most of them young people. And to counter that, we have heavy police presence as well, as promised by the Nairobi County Commandant Japhet Koome earlier on in the morning. Last Monday, we didn't see there were not very nice views there. The crowd was once again dispersed after some of the supporters started throwing stones at the police and their vehicles. But this ended after the leaders had made their speeches. But of course, right now, what we are seeing, the leaders are just getting in, of course, settling down. The few protests we've seen, they sit on the ground on the road or the so I think we will be witnessing the same thing today before they head on to give their speeches to their supporters. And a way forward on whether next Monday it will be business as usual for them at the anniversary towers. The CORD coalition had vowed to keep doing this until when the IEBC will be ousted. We have the IEBC chairman maintaining that they will do no such thing. And a number of stakeholders, really, the church, the Kenya Private Sector Alliance have called for dialogue. Let's just listen in as Orengo speaks to the, Senator James Orengo speaks to the crowd. Just from the anniversary towers, currently Senator James Orengo and Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama are addressing crowds. The court leaders have just made way to the anniversary towers there, met by their supporters and coming in with a number as well. And we're seeing a number of leaders, and conspicuously is KANU's Nick Salat, who has just been introduced in the crowd in a red shirt. I don't know whether that indicates that KANU supports COD's way or COD's quest to oust the IEBC commissioners. But as I had mentioned earlier, this is something that the KTN news team will be interrogating and just seeing whether the COD coalition is getting support from the old party KANU. A number of leaders we're seeing there, led by Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, the core principals, and Moses Wetangula. We have Madam Ongoro there, Member of Parliament. Let's just listen in on Senator James Orengo.
Jambo la pili, mimi nataka niseme hivi kabla hatujaingilia mambo ya IEBC. Juzi nimesikia Ruto akisema ya kwamba yule alimuua Juma aende kwa police station. Sasa hao polisi wote wako hapa, kazi yao ni nini? Tunataka watatue nani aliua Jacob. Haikupatikana mahali mwili ulipatikana. Sasa mimi najua I can smell like coffee where a government has carried out an assassination. I can smell it like coffee. So we should not be cheated ya kwamba kuna mwingine ambao alihusika. Ni Ruto. Mauaji ya Jacob Juma. Ruto! Na Kalonzo na waja wako hapa. In law, there is what is called a dying declaration. Mtu ambao karibu afe. On the verge of death, that is good evidence. Kwa hiyo Jacob Juma amepatia suluhu kwa mambo ya mauaji yake mwenyewe. Na hakuna mtu ametaja Ruto. Chama ni kama mali moja. Alisema kama bado yuko hai.
All right, COD leaders have already started addressing crowds at the anniversary towers in their bid to oust the IEBC commissioners. Currently, Senator James Orengo is addressing the crowds. Questions over who killed Jacob Juma still arising, even as the leaders talk about ousting